I'm pleased to have the opportunity through this media encounter to address the good people of Ghana through you and answer any questions that may be on the public's mind. It's been 8 months since I was sworn into office, and 9 months since you, the people of Ghana, went to the polls and gave me a clear, resounding mandate to lead our country into a new era. Beyond affirming your confidence in the policies and programs we propose, it was a national reawakening. That December 7th vote was a call not just for leadership, but for a change of direction, for honesty, for accountability, and for a reset. It was for a different kind of governance, one that listens and one that acts, and one that cares. And so on January 7, 2025, when I took the oath of office, I did so with full awareness of the weight of that moment. I knew we had inherited a nation that was tired of excuses by the political elite, weighed down by hardship and yearning for leadership that does not just promise but performs. For the past 8 months, we've demonstrated that we're not here to continue business as usual. We're here to reset Ghana, to restore the soul of our nation, to revive its economy, reignite the spirit of hope and possibility in every Ghanaian. Through our prudent and people-centered economic management plan, we've slashed nuisance taxes, we've rescued our power sector and averted the doomsday crisis, which was handed over to us. We've lowered the exchange rate, eased the burden of doing business, and reduced the cost of living for the average Ghanaian. Inflation has dropped to a record 4-year low, signaling renewed macroeconomic stability. We've made the highest allocation to basic education in nearly half a decade. In health, much needed funds have been released to fund the health insurance scheme. Medical supplies are flowing steadily. Community health delivery is being prioritized, and the Ghana Medical Trust Fund was launched to help Ghanaians bear the cost of treating chronic diseases. Only yesterday, I approved the governing board of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, which the Honorable Minister of Health will soon inaugurate. A renewed focus on agriculture, particularly through youth-targeted interventions, irrigation expansion, and the revitalization of the Land and Farm Bank project, is positioning Ghana to be food secure and export competitive. We've also laid the groundwork for a digital Ghana through strategic investments in science and technology and innovation through the 1 Million Coders program. These strides are not isolated. They are part of a clear, deliberate national reset that is restoring hope, creating opportunity, and ushering in an era of shared prosperity for all. My comrades, the education sector remains central to our reset agenda, as we firmly believe that the future of our country hinges on an empowered, knowledgeable, and skilled population. And so 3 months ago, I launched the no-fee stress policy, refunding fees to 120,000 first-year students in public tertiary institutions in Ghana. It signaled a decisive break from the painful era when dreams of brilliant but vulnerable young Ghanaians were cut short simply because they could not afford to pay fees, especially at that critical period of admission where they either pay or lose the chance at further education. We're not stopping there. The no-fee stress policy is intrinsically linked to our broader Student Loan Plus policy, which will ensure that no student is left behind in subsequent years of study. Under this policy, students from low-income households will have access to flexible and dignified financing options to complete their tertiary education without the burden of unbearable debt or financial uncertainty. The implementation of the free tertiary education policy for persons with disability has commenced, removing a key barrier to higher learning and affirming our belief that education must be a right and not a privilege for every Ghanaian, regardless of their physical ability. To give life to our commitment to foster a knowledge-based economy, we've established the Ghana National Research Fund with an initial allocation of 50 million cedis. This is a step towards deepening research and innovation across all sectors: science, technology, humanities, and the arts. For far too long, much of the research conducted by our brilliant academics has been funded by foreign institutions, with the unfortunate outcome that the intellectual property and findings are often owned abroad. With this fund, we will slowly but certainly reverse that narrative by empowering our own researchers and ensuring that Ghana owns the knowledge and innovations produced by its intellectuals. As part of our commitment to research excellence, we offer full scholarships annually to 5 PhD candidates at every university in Ghana. By investing in our thinkers, we're investing in our future and asserting our intellectual sovereignty. In furtherance of our commitments to inclusion and dignity, we have distributed over 6 million sanitary pads to our girl children in primary and secondary schools to keep them in school and help them end period poverty. Contrary to the widespread misinformation that was circulated before December 7th, 2020.
Tell us how too much money no don't watch him. It was swipe ya kwen.
Has been strengthened. We've made the highest budgetary allocation in the history of the policy as at now. A staggering 3.5 billion Ghana cedis has been dedicated to the free SHS. We understand that access without quality is inadequate, and that's why we're implementing the decentralization of feeding policy to allow the management of schools to make their own feeding arrangements to provide students with quality meals. Our commitment to foundational learning is equally strong. Basic education has received its highest budget allocation in almost a decade, reflecting our determination to rebuild the educational ladder from the ground up, with 564.6 million allocated so far for textbooks. We're addressing long-standing challenges in the system, particularly those caused by the reduced funding of the recent past. Fellow countrymen and women, we've also turned our attention with equal urgency to the health and well-being of our people. In 2025 alone, the national health budget increased by 13.4%, rising from 15.6 billion Ghana cedis to 17.8 billion cedis, one of the most significant increases in recent years. This bold step reflects our recognition of the urgent need to strengthen Ghana's healthcare system in the face of both domestic demands and global health risks. Capped the NHIL and made 66% increase in funding to the National Health Insurance Scheme from 5.9 billion Ghana cedis to 9.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2025. This is not just a budget line, it's a life-saving commitment. These funds will help expand coverage, improve claims processing, and ensure that every Ghanaian, especially the poor and vulnerable, has access to affordable quality health care. The sudden withdrawal of $156 million in US aid health support, which previously sustained critical programs in malaria, HIV and AIDS, and child health, presented a serious fiscal and public health challenge. In response, we have readjusted our domestic expenditure priorities and ensured that the domestic safety nets are provided to cover the gap that occurred. To further bridge access gaps and enhance service delivery, government is investing over 2 billion Ghana cedis in healthcare infrastructure between now and 2028. This includes an initial 200 million cedis allocation in the 2025 budget to accelerate construction, expansion,